Hi all, welcome to my channel. In this channel we talk about people, places and culture, and this time we have taken you up north to where we find the Turkanas. That is so exciting. I know most of the time we think about bandits, raids, wars, hunger and things like that, but this particular time we are about to demystify all that. Stay tuned.
Mimi naitwa Bernard Lennon, in short Sir Lennon. Mimi ndio na my team are the founders of Nisoro Atieno, which again is affiliated to a big program called Pastoralist Education Initiative, ambazo is the program actually that has many initiatives that are geared towards helping out the community.
Atieno, lakini tena julikana kwa social media ni Aborigoras Ibrahim. By profession engineer, lakini kule nje tunafanya masuala ya peace, especially community initiative. That's why initiative ambayo I'm the Secretary General, and we've done a bit of work. Anatoka Katilu, hii inaitwa Turkana South. So it's coincidence that Lennon, who is the chairman, tunatoka kijiji moja, na ikahappen tena our thinking ni kama we are all towards how do we put our youth energy into use.
Sisi ni wenyeji, mimi ni Mturkana from the village. I come from a village called Lopur, plot number 4, Shanti, in Turkana South, naitwa Katilu ward. So tumejipata tuko Lodwar hii, and you know this is the center of the county, and being Turkanas, it gives us a passion because this is where we belong, and we don't wait for any other person to give us initiatives to help our people. Generally we are pastoralists and we are basically nomad, and we have some elements of agro-pastoralists, and my friend here is agricultural engineer. He's a professional in that field, and therefore actually that complements the pastoral lifestyle. We have first-hand experience of the raids. Actually, we are directly affected because our parents and us, we either are victims or are just affected by the raids. So when you have the first-hand experience of such things, you think like, what can I do to make things okay? One, because you see the impact. When livestock is taken from your own, the only livelihood you have is taken away. And maybe your dependents are killed, or the breadwinners are killed. What is left is poverty. And instead of people coming in to help you actually solve the problem or even find alternatives or ways of surviving, you become a resource mobilizing tool nationally or otherwise by NGOs and the rest. So you find the resource mobilized, they get the money, they get everything nationally or otherwise, but it's not given back to the community that is affected. It is used by the organizations to make them peer out of it, the Red Cross and the rest of them. Kenyans for Kenyans. Actually, every community has disaster preparedness mechanisms. The Turkana community, being the nomadic community, has a way of making sure that during the rainy season, this is what they prepare themselves with, so that during the dry season, they can do 1, 2, 3. They have grazing patterns. They have everything that the community needs to prepare itself. The only problem is you prepare yourself, then all of a sudden the outsider, an external incident happens now to disorient you. Now where will you pick up from? It becomes difficult. So we sat down and said, okay, where do we get these external issues from? We get from Ethiopia, we get from South Sudan, from our brothers from Uganda, and some brothers from Kenya, that's West Pokot. So what do we do? Do we continue fighting? Then you look at everything else that everyone has done. The NGOs are there, they have caravans, peace caravans, wako na initiatives 1, 2, wanatafuta pesa, wanapeleka watu for peace meeting, serikali inakuja, anaweka askari everywhere, but still these guys are able to manage to raid again. Raiding is not an issue. The issue is what happens after the raids. How do you, maybe ukao wameraid, wamechukua ng'ombe, wamechukua mbuzi, huyu mwenye anaweki nini itabadilika? What happens is yeye juu amekuwa affected, ata prepare, anajua ile barabara ng'ombe yake imefuata, so atajipanga tu, ataombaomba tu marafiki yake. Kama ng'ombe itatosha, ng'ombe ile ataomba itakuwa ya kazi ngapi? Mbili. One, ya kurecover from ile raid. Pili, ni ya kuhakikisha kwamba ameraise enough resources to protect this which he has borrowed or just been assisted by the family, because normally society kama Turkana, wewe kama uko chini, watu community, whether you are related or not, watakuchangia mbuzi moja so that you can recover, you will be on your feet again. But now you will have to protect what has been given, meaning you will buy a gun. Na akibuy your gun, anajua mahali ile ng'ombe yake ilienda. So what happens? Ataenda atatafuta. So that cycle will continue, because benefits ya kuredi wale wanajua, uchungu ya kuacha ng'ombe yako iende huyu anajua. So lazima atafute ng'ombe yangu. Now sasa we can't continue like that. So we say, okay, there's a common denominator here. Jamaa NGOs na kadhalika, they have been using men. The men are the ones wenye wana raid. Wacha twende tuhakikishe kwamba men ndio wana raid. Let us ensure kwamba tuma involve. What happens? Watatumika politically. Wataenda watatafuta wanaume their leaders and they will sit down. Leaders watasupport hao, ama leaders kuliko kuresolve the problem wasema si hata nyinyi wanaume mjisote. Haya, upate pengine Pokot wamepea hawa risasi. Haya, pengine because they are controlled within the country. What about my friends from Uganda? What about my friends from South Sudan, where the government is not yet stable? What about my friends in South Oromo ambaye sasa Ethiopia? They cannot be controlled by any system. So what do? Let us just sit down. First of all, we speak the same dialect. Wacha tutafute kitu ya kufanya. One, tukajaribu recovery. Tukaenda sisi wakati tukaenda tukachukua vijana chache, tuwarudisha kwa shamba. Tuna train hao na business, tuna train hao wengine, tunapeleka masonry nini, yani watafute two courses. Then watoto ambaye wazazi wao walikufa na wangeenda kumaliza shule, tunajaribu kurudisha wa shule. We cheo, mna sponsor kidogo, mnachanga, mnaenda kwa community, you do some fundraising, because that is all what pastoral education initiative will do. Because the magnitude of what the victims are more, and you cannot just even, you need a lot of resources basically. Tukakaa hivi tena tukasema hapana, we have to be flexible. Hii ya wanaume hii is discriminated, alafu everybody saying where is the voice of women, and that's why now tulikaa chini tukasema hata enemy akiona msichana mzuri lazima either atamchukua atamuua, atakaa naye, whether awe ametoka West Pokot, awe ametoka Karamoja, ama ametoka South Sudan kwa Taposa, ama ametoka kwa Dodos, kwa Jie, Nyangatom, Merile. Wakiona tu msichana mzuri hata kwa mferiji, hata akichota maji, mtu ataenda kutembea huko, atamuongelesha. Na sasa that is the only tool that we chose now to use. So we started this thing called Beauty for Peace and Development. Our first theme when we started the pageantry itself, it was beauty for and against. It was, our theme was stop gender violence. Okay? And that gender violence is not actually seen like only on women, but on men also. Men, violence is violence. Hakuna mahali inapikwa, inagawiliwa, this is women, gender based violence ni wanaume na hii ni wanawake. Hakuna gawiliwi. Gender is gender. It's not about women. It is about gender domestically and otherwise. And there's nothing domestic about violence. Sasa in domestic violence is violence where damu ya mtu inamwagwa na kila kitu inamwagwa, and therefore we don't give really excuse ya kusema kwamba ati tunasema beauty is there to make sure whatever violence exists within the Atakar community, it has to stop.
I'm Barbara Nalemgeteregai. I'm the current Miss Peace Atakar. I'm Nasuru Emma Ikwam, Miss Atakar Turkana 2019-2020.
Kanartanga alimlim Zipora. Arayanga Miss Atakar. Nakolona kwanza 2018-2019.
Atakar is a project that was brought up to promote peace among communities that speak the same dialects. Yeah, like Karamoja in Uganda, Taposa in Sudan, South Sudan, Nyangatom in Ethiopia, then Teso. Mainly Atakar, we speak more on peace because we normally have conflicts. Wanyama tunaibiana, wanyama vita, mvua ikinyesha mahali fulani, kuna watu wengine wanakuja na ng'ombe hao wana cross hiyo ni border, wanakuja side nyingine, wengine wanagombana kwa nini wameleta ni ng'ombe hao huko. So sisi tukakama hapo na initiative ya kuzuia hiyo. We preach peace. Tunawaambia waende mashule ndio wajue importance of going to school, importance of getting a job, good job. Hata kwanza mainly ladies ndio tunasaulika. Tukiwa huko mashanani tunatumika kuchota maji, kujenga manyumba, kupika hizo vitu za nyumbani. Hatuna sauti. So sisi tunatumika kama watu yani kama hizi mimi msichana nimesimama mbele ya watu, wanajua kumbe tunaweza kuwa na sauti, tunaweza preach peace, waache hiyo maneno ya vita. Mimi ni hiyo.
when we started in 2018, the first function, the first and the Knyokola alo Turkana. Tanyu na ya Miss Ayon. And Yarmore alo Turkana te akadi Uganda kwa Karamojo. We mentored the girls in Uganda. We talked matters peace, gender-based violence, and education, mainly among the girls. In Uganda, the Karamoja people, together with us, the Turkana people, we sat down and we decided to include the other Ateker groups, the Ethiopians, the Nyangatoms in Ethiopia, and the Toposa in South Sudan. So when we finished in Uganda, we went to Ethiopia. Hello Ethiopia, we did the same thing. We also mentored the girls there. The same way we talked on gender-based violence, education. We also conducted an event for the Miss Ateker in Ethiopia. We got our queen from the Nyangatom people. We then went to South Sudan, the same thing. We talked on peace, mainly education. Together, we did this with the government, from our county government, the government in Uganda, South Sudan, and Ethiopia. So after we got the queens from Uganda, Ethiopia, South Sudan, and me from Turkana, we then conducted a general event, and I was the first runner-up. The queen came from South Sudan. Right now, this idea is still growing, so we have so many girls who are showing up, who are really interested to what we did in all the countries, Uganda, South Sudan, and Ethiopia. So when COVID-19 came up, that's when we had to simmer down. But what we achieved mainly was peace, which I won't say we've achieved 100%, but we are getting there. Education among our girls. Mostly, we'll say the affected area was Nyangatom. When we went there, to Nyangatom in Ethiopia, the girls, it is not a very, compared to us, the Kenyans, wako very developed. So we mentored the girls. Now their spirits, they are willing to learn, they are willing to be educated and all that. Wako willing to what should I say? Kujiinua, yes. Wako willing kujiinua. And for us, for the whole Ateker group, we are pastoralists. Sasa sisi ni wale tunasema tumegrow up tukijua mwanamke ni wa kukaa nyumbani ama ni wa kuchunga nyumbani, mwanaume ndo ana provide. Lakini saa hizi na venye tulikama tunajisaidia, tumewafunza wasichana from Uganda, Nyangatom, Sudan, na pia sisi pia Turkana. The girls are learning. Wanajua pia they have to take up opportunities kwa community.
So far watu wengi wamenisikia tukienda kwa hizi events unaamsha, unaambia watu maneno ya peace, unaambia watu maneno ya kwenda shule. Tuna advertise pia kama kuna magonjwa zimekuja, tunapeana awareness kwa kama COVID ilikuja, tunaambia watu wajichunge kwa hizo protocols za COVID. Pia tunatumika kwa hizo, watu wakisikiza.
You know, the communities Ateker, these communities, they used to fight before because of cattle, but squeezy, they even marry, these communities marry. Yani there's that peace. Yani that's what I want, the peace iendelee. Isirudi kama kitambo venye ilikuanga, tunapigana juu ya animals, tunauana, vitu kama hizo. I want hii peace yenye imeanza niendeleshe.
The beauty about this thing is like when you look at these countries, Turkana region became like the modern one in all those regions. So because they are not open, like the South Sudan structures are not there. One thing I used is I am a Mandela Washington Fellow, and therefore the networks are good also in terms of reaching out to these regions. And we try to get chapters in each and every country. And those other chapters trusted us a lot because our girls, especially when we had the first regional contest in Karamaja, Mount Moroto Hotel. I am telling you, you know, the whole region, the whole area of Karamaja was so good that now everybody felt like, tunaenda Turkana. Na kama tunaenda Turkana, itabidi tuwe at peace with our people. And that initiative opened the border. Sasa Wakaramoja walikuwa wanakujanga hapa, wanakuja ku club hapa, sisi wa Turkana tunaenda tena huko. So it became like brothers and sisters thing, and it went all the way. Paka one of us married now, we started it marrying. Kuna jamaa wetu walioa kutoka huko, you know. Now that is the beauty of beauty. Yeah. You can use beauty across way because tunakuwa mashemeji. So huko utaamka kusema kwamba unaenda kuredi wa Turkana because see hata sisi tuliona mtoto. Now when we went there, one of us when he married there, and the whole young generation ya Turkana went all the way. And therefore that is what we want to continue doing. We would want even them to come because when we have an event, we invite an MC from their region. He comes here because it's a model in their area. Therefore, we trust that as hata huko hata hapa watu watuita whenever they have an event, and just our ladies when they are there, our girls when they are just walking there, hata wanashangaa, wow, kumbe Waturkana wasichana wako tu sawa. Then we go to Kapaita like where we went. The governor Louis Lobong was so excited, and you know the Turkana county government was so excited because it gives them an opportunity to interact with the leadership from the other region. And you know, it was awesome because at least imekutanisha hawa. Not on government initiatives, but on ordinary young people's initiative. The girls from the other region see these other girls and say, by the way, muende shule. And they see other girls wanaongea Kiingereza, wanaongea kila kitu, and they are still participating traditionally on what is happening. Inasaidia sana. So tulienda Kapoeta nini Nyangatong Kangate. We that is now mahali hata shule hakuna. But the girls, the experience was so for the lack of a good word was like the environment was so virgin for such kind of initiative. The ladies had never met Turkana. The young people there hawajawahi kuwa na interaction between the Turkana and them. Only to realize we speak the same language, we do not need a translator. And the friendship that was built and brought ilifanya hawa waka change the perception about the Turkana. So tukamaliza huko, when now we had our festival here, so tuliwaleta wote the old ladies will participate up pale. Kufika hapa, the Turkana had never interacted with those ladies. So it was like, wow, kumbe pia wako the excitement. And na ile friendship walikuwa naweka na timu yote yenye ilikuwa huko. Seeing each other again was just refreshing. And you know, that is the beauty why we are doing this thing. Yeah. We've seen first-hand benefit hii kwa sababu it has created friendships to the young people who are potential raiders or participants in this conflict. So when we have a peace, we try to shape up the messages, and we try also to be sensitive to the local politics, the local perceptions, and we try to blend, not forgetting the fact that sisi naye tuko lazima tuende shule, turudi, lazima tufanye nini, lazima tuendelee. We are young people, and this young people's dream is just to have a good life. Sometimes that good life huwezi fanya hii tu peke yake, so lazima uendelee mbele. So
we are focused especially on the pageantry. It's our goal. We want this thing to grow. At one point, if we are a big company that runs, continue assisting the regions. In the regions, iendelee na mambo ya peace. Because our goal, if Nyang'ato will sleep in their business. If we could open the trade in Kibish between the Nyang'ato Manas, that's better. For now, wakati barabara ilikuwa inasumbua mambo ya sisi tulikuwa tunapata chakula Karamoja hapa Moroto, so we were able to get our foodstuffs from Moroto. So that is the beauty of the peace. Sasa tunasema tutaendelea, and the good thing is that we see also our local government, the county government, are supporting the initiative. That's why we see the sitting governor, the governor Nano, is also impressive, and he has more plans to the same.
And I think one of the goals is to make sure that the cultural pageantry festival becomes big. Unaona sasa you find people saying, oh, tunataka Kitenge festival, tunazozia malaika festival, nini Miss Malaika or what. Hiyo vitu yote, this one is big because the day I will want the Luos to bring their cultural pageants. The yardstick ambayo tunatumia ati lazima tutumie hiyo ya wazungu, na sisi tunaweza kuja na yetu. No, we can have our own traditional way of looking at things and appreciate them that way, because it speaks to us directly, it resonates with our activities, and God willing, one day it will be the biggest thing in this country, because you will come and now and see, oh, Turkana pageants, traditional haya. And we have empowered our girls.
Nakumbuka yule jamaa alipewa 1 million na deputy president,
yeah,
because of singing a song that welcomes everyone to Turkana. So, welcome Turkana. Yeah.
Hapa juu kuna shanga. Hii wasichana ndio wanafaa wenye bado hawajaolewa. So tuna decorate sana, tunaweka mavitu hapa. At least you look beautiful. Then kuna hizo zingine nye wanatengeneza na miti. Wale watu wameolewa, kuna clan inavaa hiyo. Kuna wenye wanapaka rangi ya red hapa, kuna wenye wanapaka nyeusi. So iko na so many types ya kuvaa. Alafu hii ni LEO. Hii kosa ya mbele kuna ya nyuma na kaskat. Alafu ukiona ni nyepesi unajua hii ni ya wasichana. Alafu ya mama yanakuwa ngumu na ijepakwa hii rangi. Kuna nyingine hapa mbele. Hii inaitwa Adol. So naona play kuna shanga hivi sana. Hii ina indicate kwa ni ya wasichana. Wasichana ndio wanafaa. Ya mama inakuanga plain na iko na hii ngozi yenye iko hapa. je imetengenezwa nayo na chuma ingine hivi around wanaweka kando. Alafu hii ni kama belt tu, tunaita aruba. So hii ni ya kushikilia tu hizi vitu yote pamoja.